All right. Justin Harris, owner of Troponin Nutrition, here at Coop's Ironworks in Saginaw. We just did a seminar that went pretty well. We filmed a back session with Jake Pacion and Jordan Janowitz. It's been a long day. We started out with deadlifts. Went up. We're going to go to around 600 or so. I think we got to 5 plates, and I tried Jordan's belt. And you want to know by looking at him, but the dude's got a tiny little waist. And I tried to wedge my guts up inside that thing, and I ended up kind of hurting my back on about the 5th rep with 495. So bailed it from there. Then we went to pull downs with the mag grip. The gym here is great, all kinds of stuff I'm not used to having, so we tried to really kind of utilize some movements I don't usually get to. So we did pull downs with the neutral mag grip wides. I think we did 4 sets there. And then we went over to one-arm dumbbell rows. The dumbbells go up to 150 here, so we just stayed there for 3 sets of 10 reps, I think we did. Wasn't really even counting, around 10 reps. I do a couple different ways of doing rows. I do croc rows, which are like a power one-arm row movement, strict one-arm dumbbell rows where my knee's on a bench, that you kind of the classic form, and then kind of another form which is almost like a freestanding one-arm row where I kind of lean against a rack, and that's what we were doing today. And then from there we went to one of the kind of row pull-down machines, which is kind of like a hammer row, but it was actually, the company's called Elite or Edge Elite, I can't remember, but it was a really nice machine. Did 3 or 4 sets there, and then we went over to kind of a two-handed double cable seated row, kind of an isolation supersetter with cable pullovers, and that's two-arm seated row was a nice little piece of equipment. I'd like to have that. That was a good little movement. I really liked that. So all in all, I didn't time it, but we went pretty quick. I mean, there were 3 of us, and we were talking between sets, but it felt like we moved pretty quick. It was a good lift. It's great to lift with 2 guys that are young up-and-comers who are motivated. I'm actually kind of currently, I want to say training for a Spartan race, but trying to survive a Spartan race next month. So I've been bringing my body weight down about 15 pounds. Not for any reason other than I figured give me a better chance of not dying in the Spartan race. So I'm not quite at my peak strength right now, but it was good because if I would have been left to my own devices, I don't think I would have had that great of a lift today. So those 2 guys pushed me pretty good.
Okay. So what's going on in your life right now, I guess?
We're building a house. We're about to break ground, actually. So we bought some property on a lake called Little Long Lake. It's in southwest Michigan. And we had an interesting weekend yesterday because we put a dock in already and have our boat out there. Went out to kind of get the boat ready for winter yesterday, and it was filled up to the seats with water. So that was going on in my life yesterday. But we're about to break ground there. Troponin Nutrition's been really having a good year. We did the Project Big Ben with Ben Pollack, and we're working on Project Big Ben Part 2. We're trying to bring his body weight up to 240, and we're actually working on a training protocol. We kind of have a name for it, but we haven't released it yet. He's currently utilizing it, and I'm starting to utilize it. I'm really excited about this new, it's not really new method. I mean, every training's been around for a while, but it's a way of implementing kind of the power bodybuilding protocols that we both like to use. Comprehensive Performance Nutrition Volumes 1 and 2 are up on Amazon. So they're up on the Kindle app on Amazon, and then also paperback. And you can get those also on my site, Troponin Nutrition. And that's about it. Training days per week. And I know the fad the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years has been 6 and even 7 days a week of training. But the problem is I know everyone loves to be in the gym, but people aren't growing at a faster rate training 7 days a week than they do at 4 and 5 days a week. There's only so much you can recover from. And I know it's really hard to get across because you think you're training and that's stimulating the growth. The problem is that most people are training enough to stimulate the maximum amount of growth. And after that, it's how much food can they get down properly, food and supplementation to actually to cover that stimulus. You trigger all the stimulus for protein synthesis, but if the food and the supplements aren't there, it doesn't matter how much you trigger protein synthesis. You can't. There's only so much you can synthesize. So we back him down to 4 days a week during the off season. He's in contest prep. He's back up to 5 now. But most of the off season, 4 days a week, real heavy, basic, progressive overload training. And actually, if you go the the Power Bodybuilding program, Entrepreneur Nutrition, was the program we put together for him at the start of his off season this year, and that's evolved to the Critical Mass program. That's another one released. But if you want to see exactly what he was doing for most of his off season, it's the Power Bodybuilding program. Roughly 4 days a week, you just go in and each day you have PR movements where your goal is to set some kind of PR, either get another rep, use more weight, or rest less time in between sets, something where you're not changing the form and you can guarantee that it's actually the muscle getting stronger. And that's all it is. Come in, get stronger, using the muscle, not just getting stronger in movement, and then go home and feed and supplement. And that's and it finally clicked for him this year. That's it. That's what he needs. 4 days a week of real heavy hard work, and then a lot of food.
Well, he looks amazing. He's done a great job.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Justin. Any people you'd like to thank? Wife, family?
No, not my wife. No. No, I thank my wife Joy and my family for letting me come out here on a weekend and hang out with my buddies. I'd like to thank Jeff for always being there to film me and take pics of me. And no matter where I go, any of these things, Jeff is always there. I really appreciate it. It's a great asset to have. Thank all the guys that came out for the seminar, because a lot of people weren't local, which was really cool. Some of the guys one guy drove from up North Michigan somewhere, like a 2-hour drive to come hear me talk. I really appreciate it. That's cool as hell.